What's up, fool? Day 2. It's raining. Like a lot. Like more than it should, fool. But like, I don't care. Oh my god. The lady sewed my suit so tight. I didn't even get my damn shoes on.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
But they got the bank, so it's like no one's got the whole thing. So if you can get the bank, your lead runs will literally be the whole package, and the dude's not going to be running the door. No one's going to be running someone's door in the wet. So you'll win your lead run, and then your chase, you only have to worry about keeping a little proximity, let them make their mistakes, and then you win. So, because they're going to, like they said in the driver's meeting, they're going to compare lead a lot. So if you can get that lead run and get the bank, you're not going to be beat on your lead runs.
Okay.
And I took some notes on some guys that were doing good here, doing good there. You don't know who you're going to go against yet, of course, but when it comes to that point, I'll know, like, this dude's going to do good on the bank. You can trust him, you know, like, run his door. So.
Okay.
That last clip on the bank.
And it slows down fast.
Yeah, I would start slowing the car with hydro so you keep angle. And then also the judges don't like completely see it. They can't see your wheels past that wall because they're up in that glass booth. They can't see your rear wheels. So use the hydro and start slowing the car before the wet, and then you can come into the wet nice and slow. You know.
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
I agree. So we did a gear change, which helped us out a lot. Thanks to Matt Field for the advice on that. We flew Nick out here, which I told you guys we were gonna do. So now he's spotted, and we're watching 32 right now. So Hoffman gets the dub. Hoffman against Mata.
Yeah. It's all left foot brake on that main.
Yeah, that's all they're doing.
The engine's loading up, so they're left foot braking on that main. I'd be ready for that. Whoever you chase, they're going to slow up on that bank.
Yeah.
Not so glamorous being a driver now, is it?
I should have been wearing my Vans the whole time. My race shoes don't, they just get soaked when it rains. This happened before.
Haley made it. Got his car running. So now they have a top 16 battle.
Leaving the start line. Looks like got a clean start here. Diaz will lead. Towards New School. Micah throws it in. Holding fast, literally. Holding high on the wall, on the bank. Andy Haley. See some corrections there in the chase position. Micah locked and loaded. Brings it into the outside zone. Both of them dipping that back left tire in. Into the second. Oh, Andy Haley dives in. Around that front clip, let's see how they handle that last outside zone. Micah straightens up just a touch there in order to get some traction and then throw it into the outside zone. Really well executed there from Micah Diaz. Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that may have been the most well put together lead run I think we've seen, the most complete lead run we've seen so far.
Him and Brutsky so far, I think.
Yeah, it was. There was no major mistakes, and he was really doing, I think, what the judges were asking in terms of early initiation, you know, prior to the last standing cone, getting to angle, staying up high on the bank, and he pretty much does that. Right at this point, you sometimes are thinking, oh, when is he going to hit the wall? He doesn't do that, and the line that he's locked on in here is very consistent, and he comes off at the right time, keeping angle in the car, smoothness, coming down into the power alley, executing the second outside zone really well. Gets to the third outside zone. Now this is where Andy Haley dives in. Now Haley had a little bit of some struggles on the bank. You can see he's lacking some angle here in the chase. He's keeping good proximity, but Micah Diaz is putting down an incredible lead run, which is allowing him to be able to attack when he needs to. He didn't get a chance to attack in the final outside zone, but you could see that Micah Diaz was able to fill the last 3/4 of it, or the last quarter of it rather, and did a great job in the lead position. So we've seen the chase run from Haley, we've seen the lead run from Micah Diaz, and now let's switch positions and see who's going to be moving on into the Grade A.
Ryan, you're talking about a lot of the Pro 2 guys getting some fanfare. Micah Diaz has quite a following on YouTube and on Instagram, so he's definitely showing up with some fanfare. So here we go, Andy Haley coming out of the chute. Let's see how he initiates. Andy Haley goes in the bank. Whoa, buddy. Throws some more angle at it. Great looking car. I've always loved Andy Haley's E30. And Micah Diaz slides to the side of Haley. Now into the outside zone, you can see Andy Haley does exceed the edge of the track just a little bit, not too much, as Micah, you can see, kicking back a little bit here. Andy Haley took a wider swing, was about the third hash mark on that front clip. Andy filling all of that outside zone.
Yeah,
Right.
I think Micah Diaz was trying to temper his attack there. Haley was coming through the course in areas, obviously a lot of it because of the rain, maybe some of it because of the setup. It seemed like a little bit slower than Diaz had anticipated. But Haley in his lead, good snap right here into initiation, right up against the wall. Starts to have a little bit of separation. Diaz notices it, tries to start closing the door, but look at this. You can see the front wheels of Andy Haley locked and nice on a good line. Here's where Diaz starts to attack a little bit, and it seems like he's surging, has to pull out of it. Haley just drops about a tire, gets a second one right at the edge of that outside zone, right at the edge of outside zone 2, and then here's where you mentioned, Jared, he pushes really wide, almost pinches off Diaz here in that inside clip, but a good adjustment from Diaz as he starts to tuck up on the inside, and Haley getting right up against the wall there, a little love tap, filling that final outside zone about almost 3/4 of the way through it, so still getting some points from the judges there, but it will come down to how Both drivers performed in their lead and chase runs comparatively. And I still don't think this is going to be an easy call. It was a good back-and-forth battle. Some highlights from both drivers, but certainly some mistakes. I think the lead run from Micah Diaz was a standout moment for me.
Yeah.
And it was one of the best runs, if not the best lead run all day.
Yeah, I mean, you said that earlier with Dimitri Brutsky, and I would say those two right there. And yeah, and you took the words out of my mouth. I would say that Micah had a really stellar lead run, and that could be the deciding factor for these judges. Let's see what we got. Always love seeing Andy Haley, and even better the vehicle as well. Run, media, run. All right, want to get another look for the judges, just to really make sure. And Ryan, again, just another, just echoing, I think, all of our sentiments. These Pro 2 drivers really throwing down here as Chelsea Denofa brings everybody dinner. Really appreciate that. Here's the side-by-side. Kemp feeling good about it. Here we go.
Yeah, the lead run, you actually see a bigger mistake that I didn't catch the first time around early on from Andy Haley. So I think that's going to put the leads in Micah Diaz's favor just on that alone. So it's really going to, for me, it's going to come down to the chase runs here. And focusing in on that, you can see a good surging attack there from Andy Haley. Great job on that inside clip. Diaz, it looks like, he was trying to get the speed right and the setup right, surging in places, but making some mistakes, really maybe not adjusting to Haley's slower speed, or at least the perceived slower speed in certain areas of the course than he anticipated. So tough call here for the judges overall. Let's find out who's going to the grade 8.
Zwing in the building. Thanks for joining us out here, Zwing. As, again, old school versus new school. Andy's been banging away in FD for quite some time, so it's always good to see him back in the building. E30, different liveries, but just defecting back to the classic orange. And Micah Diaz, that vehicle, again, I've seen a couple of his videos taking that thing out to Adams and shredding it. All right, here we go. And slide him left or right. What do we got? Brian Eggert. Really deliberating.
Did you guys also?
Here we go. Slide him left for Diaz, right for Haley. And Ewell says Haley. And one more time for Ryan Lontaine. And Andy Haley gets the win.